My name is Henry. I am 79. I live in a quiet room. I live alone. I was a truck driver. I drove many years. I loved my job. I loved the road. Every turn I took, I thought of home. I thought of family. I thought of love. I missed birthdays. I missed holidays. I missed dinners. But I brought money. I gave my life. I gave my youth. I gave my time for their better future. I watched them grow. I paid their schools. I fixed broken toys. I read bedtime stories. My hands were rough. My eyes were tired. My shoes were dusty, but my heart was full. They were my world. They were my joy. They were my purpose. They were my reason. I never wanted much. Not cars, not gold, not trips, just time with them. I dreamed of Sundays. I dreamed of soup. I dreamed of laughs around the table, a warm kitchen, a silly joke, small voices talking, hands passing bread. That dream kept me going through storms, through nights, through pain, through silence. Then time passed. They grew up. They got busy. They moved far. Phone calls got short. Visits got rare. Hugs turned quick. Eyes looked away. I said, "It's okay." I said, "They're tired." I said, "Maybe next week." But weeks became months, then years, and I sat more and waited more. I sit by the window. I hold a photo. I drink cold tea. I breathe slow. They were 5 and 7. Small shoes, loud laughs, sticky fingers, sweet voices. We sat on grass. We shared apples. They hugged my neck. I closed my eyes. That moment stays with me clearer than yesterday, louder than now, warmer than sun. In this home, the walls are soft. The nurses are kind. The food is quiet. Some laugh a lot. Some sleep all day. Some forget names. I remember too much. Every day at 5, I dress neat. I comb my hair. I wait at the bench. No one comes. No one calls. But I wait because I still believe. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm just a man with a seat saved for a son, or maybe a daughter, or maybe no one, but still saved. I write letters I never send. I fold napkins for no one. I fix my tie. Hope is strange. It breaks you soft. It heals you slow. It never leaves. Every morning, I open my drawer. I touch the same picture. I whisper good morning. I see their small faces, their missing teeth, their messy hair, their shining eyes. I remember muddy shoes, tiny backpacks, sticky candy wrappers, loud evening songs. The photo is old, edges torn, colors faded, but memories are still bright. Sometimes I close my eyes. I hear footsteps. I hear giggles. I hear tiny fights. I hear, "Dad, look at me." I hear, "Dad, push me higher." I hear, "Dad, stay." Those voices are far now, like stars hiding behind thick clouds, too far to reach. But I stretch my heart every day. I stretch my hands, hoping to catch one. On Father's Day, the staff put balloons, soft music, chocolate cake, small gifts. Families came smiling, carrying flowers, children in new clothes, arms full of hugs. I wore my best shirt, my clean shoes. I brushed my hair 3 times. I waited outside on the bench with my heart shaking like a boy again. I looked at every car, every shoe, every shadow passing the gate. Maybe that was Tom. Maybe Lisa. Maybe one of them. maybe all of them. I fixed my collar. I stood tall. I smiled at strangers. I tried to look calm, but time moved slow. The sky turned orange, and no one came. I held my photo tighter. I smiled to it. I said, maybe next time. The nurse brought me tea, warm and sweet, but it tasted like dust. I thanked her. I sipped small. I looked again. One last hopeful glance. Nothing but empty chairs, empty tables, empty spaces filled with maybe. Some men cried quietly. Some ladies wiped their eyes. I just sat still. Not because I was strong, but because I learned how silence feels inside. It feels like sitting in an old house with broken windows and waiting for spring. It feels like hugging yourself. It feels like smiling with a crack deep inside. Later that night, I went back to my room. Soft slippers, soft lights, soft sighs. I placed the photo on my pillow, kissed it gently, whispered, "Good night." I listened to the wind outside. It sounded like voices laughing, calling, maybe tomorrow, maybe next Sunday, maybe someday soon they will come. Hope is not loud. It is a quiet chair, a warm cup, a saved seat. Hope does not shout. It whispers. It hums low. It taps gently on your heart. It tells you to wait one more day, one more hour, one more minute. And so, I wait. With my old shoes, with my thin hands, with my strong hope. I woke up early today, washed my face, combed my hair, fixed my old jacket. I looked in the mirror, saw wrinkles deeper, saw eyes smaller, but hope alive. I smiled at myself, a soft, tired smile, a smile that still believed. I picked up my photo, placed it in my pocket, close to my heart. The sun was slow today, lazy and soft, painting the ground with golden lines. Birds sang louder than usual. Trees danced slow. Wind kissed my cheeks. Everything around me whispered, "Today will be different. Today will be better." I walked outside, sat on my favorite bench, waited with a heart full of dreams. Children played in the far park, chasing balls, flying kites, laughing loud. Mothers pushed strollers, lovers held hands, workers rushed by, life moving fast. I sat still, my hands on my knees, my eyes on the gate, my heart wide open. Every sound felt bigger, every shadow felt closer, every step made me hope a little. A little boy ran past me, his ice cream dripping, his shoes untied, his laugh free. He looked at me, smiled wide, waved his sticky hand, shouted, "Hi, Grandpa!" I laughed softly, waved back, felt a warm tear touch my cheek without asking. For a second, I imagined maybe that was Tom. Maybe that was little Tom. I closed my eyes, breathed deep, smelled the grass, smelled fresh coffee nearby. I remembered Sunday mornings long ago, pancakes in the kitchen, messy faces, Tom and Lisa fighting over syrup, me pretending to be angry, then tickling them. Laughter filled the house like music without instruments, like sunshine in winter. Now, laughter is far, like music played behind a heavy closed door. I can hear it faintly, but I cannot touch it, cannot open it anymore. I wonder if they remember me, my jokes, My old guitar? My silly hats? Or am I just a picture in a dusty album? Just a story they tell sometimes? An old man sat beside me, his hands shaking, his voice weak but friendly. He asked, "Waiting for someone?" I smiled, nodded, said, "Yes, every day." He patted my shoulder, whispered, "Me too, my friend, me too." Every day we sat side by side, two silent ships in a noisy ocean, two quiet hearts. When evening came, the lights turned soft. The sky wore purple and silver. I stood up slowly, my knees sore, my steps careful, but my hope steady. I said goodbye to the bench, to the gate, to the waiting cars. I walked back to my room, my feet heavy, but my soul carrying something lighter inside. I placed the photo on my bedside table, like a precious treasure. I whispered to the kids in the photo, "See you tomorrow, my loves." I closed my eyes, pulled the blanket close, listened to the silent song of hope. And in that soft silence, I smiled. Sunday morning arrived. The sun soft, the wind gentle, the sky a soft blue. I sat up in my bed, stretched my arms, whispered good morning, smiled at nothing. Today felt different. Today felt lighter. Today smelled like hope, fresh and kind. I put on my best clothes, polished my old shoes, combed my thin hair, fixed my smile. Downstairs, the common room buzzed, chairs arranged neatly, balloons tied carefully, banners reading, "Happy Father's Day." Nurses wore bright smiles, tables held cakes, coffee steamed in large, shiny pots, music played softly, songs about family, songs about home, songs about holding on. I sat by the window early, heart beating fast, palms sweating slightly, eyes sharp. Families started arriving. Kids ran laughing. Old hands shook young hands. Hugs filled the air, bags full of gifts, cakes with bright candles, voices mixing with chairs scraping floors. One by one the old men smiled wide. One by one they were claimed, hugged, kissed. The door swung open again and again. Laughter entered, perfume entered, memories entered. I sat straighter every time, fixed my collar, smoothed my pants, practiced my best smile. Maybe this time, maybe this shadow, maybe this small laugh, maybe this step was them. Maybe Lisa with her soft hands, maybe Tom with his big laugh, maybe someone coming. I gripped my photo tighter, my heart tighter, my breath tighter, my whole soul tighter. Hours passed like slow rivers, carrying my hope gently, then quickly away from shore. The clock ticked louder, chairs emptied faster, plates got cleared, coffee lost warmth. My back ached from sitting straight, my mouth dry from silent waiting, my neck stiff. Still I stayed, like a lighthouse, steady in the storm, bright even if unseen. The nurse came by, touched my shoulder, asked softly, "Still waiting, Mr. Henry?" I smiled big, bigger than I felt, said, "Yes, still waiting. They're just late." She nodded kindly, placed a new cup of coffee, added 2 sugars, just how I liked. I sipped the coffee slowly, holding my photo with the other hand, praying silently. The big clock struck 5. The cake was gone. The balloons drooped. The music dimmed. One by one, sons pushed fathers' wheelchairs. Daughters hugged mothers tight. Grandchildren skipped ahead. The smell of flowers faded. The sound of happy feet faded. The room emptied slowly. I sat there still, a single island in a wide, quiet sea, still shining. My hands trembled a little. My smile faded a little. My hope fought a little harder. I imagined them stuck in traffic, phones out of battery, running with flowers in hand. Maybe they bought a big cake. Maybe they planned a surprise. Maybe they would laugh soon. Maybe today was not ruined. Maybe today still held magic. Maybe I was right. When it got dark outside, when the lights flickered softly, when the wind sighed hard, I stood up slowly, picked up my photo, brushed crumbs off my lap, adjusted my jacket. Each step back to my room felt heavy, like carrying invisible boxes, like carrying old dreams. The hallway was long, lights buzzing overhead, walls breathing slow, doors whispering softly. Back in my room, I closed the door gently, locked it quietly, leaned my back against it. I slid down slowly, sat on the floor, clutching my photo like a life jacket. The night outside grew thicker. Stars blinked weakly, and somewhere far, laughter floated. But not here. Not inside these walls. Not inside my small, quiet room. Not yet. I placed the photo on the bed, smoothed its edges, whispered softly to every tiny face. Maybe next Sunday, I said. Maybe next spring, I said. Maybe next dream, I said. I smiled through the crack in my heart, through the weight on my chest, through the ache, and I slept that night. Not because I stopped hoping, but because even hope needs rest. I dreamed of small hands in mine, of tiny shoes running, of silly songs badly sung. I dreamed of wide fields, of big tables, of small gifts wrapped in clumsy fingers. I dreamed of Sunday dinners loud with noise, messy with laughter, soft with love. And in the deepest part of my dream, I heard a voice call out, "Dad!" Morning light touched my face. I opened my eyes slow. I listened to the soft world. Another day began, another chance, maybe another quiet battle, another sweet, stubborn hope. I sat up on my bed, feet touching the cold floor, heart beating a little faster. I looked at the small photo beside me, my faithful companion, my tiny, crowded world. Today felt lighter. Today felt softer. Today smelled like something warm, something waiting for me. I washed my face, combed my hair carefully, straightened my shirt, cleaned my old shoes. I brushed dust from my jacket, tied my shoelaces neatly, tucked my photo into my heart. Step by step, I walked down the hallway, nodding to nurses, whispering, "Good morning," holding hope. The garden outside called to me, soft green benches, tiny yellow flowers, shy small birds singing. I sat on my favorite bench, the wood old but kind, the sky wide and welcoming. I closed my eyes for a moment, felt the wind kiss my face, heard laughter far away. Maybe today, maybe now, maybe a voice would call out my name, maybe arms would open. I imagined Tom with messy hair running toward me, Lisa with her bright scarf waving big. I imagined hugs full of years lost, kisses on tired cheeks, promises to never drift again. I imagined stories exchanged fast, coffee spilled on shirts, tears falling without shame or apology. I imagined smiles wide enough to break the heavy glass walls around my heart. No cars came, no new footsteps, no sudden calls, no rushing hugs. But still, I smiled. Still, I waited. Still, I whispered. Still, I dreamed in sunlight. I watched the children play, tiny hands tossing balls, tiny legs chasing after simple dreams. I watched young mothers kiss scraped knees, young fathers lift crying babies into safe arms. I watched the whole world move around me, alive, busy, noisy, colorful, sometimes forgetting, sometimes remembering. I saw young couples argue softly, old friends sharing sandwiches, teenagers laughing into their phones. Life never stops, I thought. It rolls forward with or without you, like a big, unstoppable train. But hearts like mine, they stay a little longer. They hold on to small promises longer. The gardener passed by, an old man too, a broom in one hand, a broken radio in the other. He smiled at me, tipped his cap, said, "Morning, boss," then went on whistling a soft song. I liked that, being called boss, being remembered by someone even for a second. Sometimes a small, kind word weighs more than gold. Sometimes a smile can fix a broken day. The sky shifted slowly, clouds painting lazy white animals across the deep blue sea. I leaned back, breathed deeply, smelled fresh-cut grass, smelled fresh baked bread from the kitchen. I remembered Sunday mornings at home, kitchen full of eggs, burnt toast, sweet laughter. I remembered little feet climbing on chairs, syrup dripping, someone always spilling juice everywhere. Home is not just walls, I thought, not just a roof, not just old carpets and cold windows. Home is arms you miss, voices you wait for, small fights you laugh about later. Home is smells stuck in your soul, songs you hum without knowing why, hands you wish to hold again. Home is the echo that never leaves you, even when the walls fall down, even when years fly. I closed my eyes, let my body rest. Let the wind rock me like a tired child. The sun warmed my old knees, warmed my old fingers, warmed the small part of my heart still stubborn. I dreamed again. Not because I was foolish, not because I was weak, but because I was human. Humans are built for dreaming, built for hoping, built for smiling even after 100 broken mornings. When the bell rang for lunch, I stood up slow, bones cracking like old wood. I walked back to my room, not because I gave up, but because I had promises to keep. I promised the photo I would come back, promised the memories I would stay kind, stay strong. I promised the little boy I used to be, the father I tried to be. I would never stop loving. Inside my room, I sat by the window, holding my photo with both hands, holding my life. I whispered again, like a soft prayer, like a song with no words, like a story never finished. Maybe next Sunday, maybe next Christmas, maybe next spring, maybe another life, maybe another dream. And that was enough for today. enough to carry me, enough to make the waiting beautiful again. Evening came. Purple sky, soft stars blinking awake, the air turning cool and sweet. I pulled my blanket over my legs, hugged my photo tighter, smiled without fear, without sadness. Love does not end when feet grow tired. Dreams do not die when bodies grow old. Hope does not leave when doors stay closed. Hearts do not forget how to wait kindly. And if tomorrow no one comes, and if next Sunday still stays quiet, and if birthdays pass unnoticed, I will still sit by the window, still smile at the garden, still talk to my memories. Because love is not measured by who remembers you. Love is measured by who you never forget. And I, Henry, I will never forget. I will never stop loving. I will never stop waiting.